Donald Trump's meme coin has been dumping like crazy, but I do think that the bottom is close, and in today's video I will show you guys my potential new buy setup. What we can see is that after the huge pump after the Trump coin officially got released is that the coin has seen a major downtrend. All liquidity has slowly but surely been sucked from the meme coin market, but I personally don't think that this coin is gonna die this easily, because we have to realize that Donald Trump is behind this coin, which is why after such a major downtrend I refuse to look for shorts and I actually prefer to look for longs. Now if we want to find the potential confirmations to look for potential longs, there's a few things that I noticed that are quite interesting. We have taken out the low of the launch over here on Binance. That on itself is already quite a bullish thing. Now what we often see after major downtrends, and this is something that you guys really have to study, is that quite often everyone is able to mark out this lower high, this lower low, then over here we form another lower high and another lower low. So what then happens once we see this aggressive push to the upside and price breaks above this previous high over here, what many people can identify is the fact that this is a valid break of structure. Now the issue is, and this is something that not a lot of people identify, is that yes, this is a valid break of structure, but the trend was very strongly towards the downside right over here. Now one of my core rules is that if price is strongly trending towards either the upside or towards the downside, quite often the first reversal structure is a structure we should not be trusting. So currently we are looking at the first reversal structure, right? Because we break above this significant high over here, that brought us to this lower low over here, compared to this low over here, that brought us to this lower high. And therefore this is a valid break of structure. But as I said, strongly downtrending coin, so the first break of structure towards the upside should not be trusted. So that means that in my opinion, many people have been opening up long positions already on the coin of Trump right over here, either upon this breakout or upon this pullback over here. Now we know that all these people that are opening up long and buy positions, they need a low to cover their stop loss. Now if we get into the mind of the retail trader, we can see that we have three lows that we can identify. We have the lowest low over here, we have this low right over here, and we also have this higher low over here. Now we know that the retail traders are very greedy creatures. So if we would have to identify the lows where the most amount of stop losses are resting and thus the most amount of liquidity is resting currently for the coin of Trump, I would say it's probably this low right over here and probably also this low right over here. So now we have identified a low probability reversal structure over here, and now we have also identified the lows where the people that are trading that low probability reversal structure have placed their stops, which means that we have now identified the key liquidity points on this chart and a potential invalid reversal structure. Now what I want to see in order to trade the reversal is that I want price to either take out the liquidity pool over here or maybe even get a bigger flush towards the second liquidity pool right over here. Now after taking out the liquidity pool, this is where things become interesting. I want price to start forming a high probability reversal structure. That means that if we take out the first liquidity pool, for example, this is the significant high to break. But this, in my opinion, would not be a valid and high probability reversal structure. How so? Because when we analyze this structure, we can see that yes, this is a significant high, because the high over here is bringing us to a lower low over here compared to this low that brought us to this high. But the problem is that this low over here, right, that brought us to this high, is not a significant low. How so? Because the low over here is not taking out any major sell side liquidity pool. The major sell side liquidity pools are resting over here and also over here, as I explained a few minutes ago. So, want the real secret to winning trades? It's all being shared right here on this channel, so make sure to like and subscribe to not miss out. The low that takes out that sell side liquidity pool becomes a significant low. So what I want to see is take out that liquidity pool, then form a lower high. Once we form that lower high, this low that is bringing us to that lower high is also a significant low. If we then form a lower low, we do not only have a significant high to break, but also the low that brought us to that significant high was a significant low as well. If we then break structure from there, I will be looking for buy positions on the coin of Donald Trump right over here with my invalidation beneath a local low, targeting new highs over here around $24.50. One of the reasons why I do not think that the top is in over here on a coin of Donald Trump is the fact that we have this major week over here on a 4-hourly time frame. Now I've taught you guys that these weeks, they always get filled at least for 50%. So if I start and mark out the 50% week fill level of this coin right over here upon this week, I can tell you guys already with about 95% certainty that this week will get filled around $23.5. So that remains my main draw liquidity once we get the confirmation to enter a long after we take out the low over here, or after we take out the low right over here. Now, as many of you guys know, I am already long on Bitcoin since last Thursday. This setup is still valid, so if we enter my buy zone, you can still enter this long position as well. But I will explain my thoughts on Bitcoin currently to explain to you guys what I'm thinking is happening next in order to add more long positions to the current long position on Bitcoin. Now, what we can see is first of all a major move to the downside, followed by this push to the upside, and on a 1-hourly time frame we got ourselves a valid and high probability break of structure over here. I also taught you guys that if we form massive wicks to the downside as we did right over here upon the time frame on the daily, we know that these wicks, they tend to get filled for 50%. If we mark out this 50% wick fill level on Bitcoin, we can see that after mapping out the 50% wick fill level, we got a major bounce after tagging it. Now this means to me that bulls are in control, bulls are buying the dips, and that the low of this week is probably gonna get protected. Now we can use that in our advantage, obviously already by entering that swing long that I just showed to you guys, but also what we can see is that currently Bitcoin is stuck in a very tight range right over here, with the range high over here and with the range low right over here for the price of Bitcoin. Now what I'm currently thinking is a potential PO3, in which we are looking at potential accumulation right over here, followed by potential manipulation maybe today or tomorrow before expansion towards our draw liquidity, which are these relative equal highs right over here. Now, how am I looking to trade this next to my current long position on Bitcoin? I'm looking to trade this in a very simple way. There's two options. The first option is that you are going to await for price to take out the liquidity right over here. After taking out the liquidity, we're once again looking for that high probability reversal structure. So we form a low, a lower high, a lower low, and then a higher high. If we get a trigger like this, you can tighten the stop loss of the current swing long position over here to the low right over here. You can add another long position with the same new invalidation, targeting that major draw liquidity. Now this setup is slightly more risky but offers a very high RR, as you guys can see. The second way that you can trade this is to wait for a reclaim of the range low. So the first way is the range low deviation anticipation play. The second way is to wait for price to take out the liquidity over here, form a reversal structure over here, then reclaim the range low over here with a break of structure within that range, and then you enter another long position on the price of Bitcoin with our invalidation now over here instead of the low of the protected week, targeting the draw liquidity over here. I'm still very much bullish on Bitcoin, guys, and I do still think that the bottom is in. I'm just waiting for this PO3 to play out, and if we get a PO3 like this, I do think you should be looking to buy the dip over here with your invalidation over here, or to wait for the extra confirmation as I just explained, reclaim the range low with a break of structure, play the higher low, and then target the major draw liquidity around $107,000 and maybe even new all-time highs on Bitcoin as well.